Stop marrying old men. You're gonna get forked. I think one of the most dangerous things to women right now, especially women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s, maybe even older, is older men looking for a hospice wife. Candace Kelly came up with that term. Follow her if you're not already. I'm going to tag her. This is one of the biggest threats to women's financial security out there. Seriously. It's not just a lonely male crisis of the lonely men, the younger. No, it's old men. Old men. Women are leaving their husbands. They're like, I'm so done after 30 years of being invisible in this relationship. Now the kids are grown. Bye-bye, right? I've done videos before. What is it? A gray divorce is what they call it? I don't know. But these men are still tricking younger women into marrying them. Don't marry them. And in this New York Times vow section, it seems like such a meet cute. What a meet cute. Let's go through how ridiculous this is. This story is a horror film in slow motion, and we're only seeing the first act of it. No, not even the first act. The inciting incident is them getting married. The horror comes after. But let's just see how much they're trying so bad to normalize this. Don't fall for it. She spent her birthday at an Airbnb and never left. The way they're even framing it is like, she looks so bad. I just hate the way she's framed in this article. She's the one getting screwed, but it makes it seem like she's the one who just lucked out. God. The title, I was like, interesting. I'm probably going to hate this. Just the title alone because of the framing. And then I saw the photo at the top of the article and I was like, now I hate this. So of course I had to read. Look at this beautiful young woman. And look at this old man. He has one foot in the grave. Dude lives in Florida and has like cancer spots or whatever those things are that old men have. I can't even imagine this. The claw toes of his hands touching her. Whoa. This may sound like ageism. No, this is like predatory old lonely men who are looking for women to give their free labor to take care of them in their dying years. How much you want to bet he's not going to schmegely please her either? I hope she doesn't want kids because this baby gravy has expired. They start off being like, Angela Sue Lucas booked a 2-day getaway for her 40th birthday in July 2020. Okay, let's look at that date right there. July 2020. We got the pandemic raging still. Not that it's over or like, not that COVID is over, but right? This is a very hard time for single people and married people. This is a hard time for women in general. Pandemic was life-changing for so many women. So many divorces, so many single women having to reevaluate things. Anyway, I'm not saying it wasn't hard on men. I feel like the pandemic was almost like a Me Too movement, inciting incident for like the fork marriage. We're done with you men. Y'all suck. The women who are in most marriages. And then for single women, it changed things. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And for a lot of women, again, July 2020, a single woman who maybe wants to have a family or just doesn't, wants to have a partner, may not be making the best decisions with men, given the trauma of that whole few years, especially. Originally, he refused her reservation. This 70-year-old man, his name was Deluxe. Oh my God, I missed that. I did not see that when I skimmed this article before. Such a Deluxe doesn't have Deluxe baby gravy. So he wrote to her, I don't allow guests to throw parties at my home. Because that's what he thought she was doing. Other guests staying at Clubs Deluxe, and it wouldn't be fair. Oh my God. You named your Airbnb Club Deluxe after yourself? I hate this man already. Other guests staying at Club Deluxe, it wouldn't be fair. The house is Mr. Weiss's home, out of which he rents 2 rooms. Don't ever stay with a 70-year-old man in an Airbnb and you stay in one of the rooms. Look what happened to this lady. You know what? This reminds me of my days on couch surfing. When all these men were like opening up their couches to all these couch surfers, but guess what? They only let women stay with them. right? And it's because they're too lazy to actually date and go out and spend money and have to court women. So instead, and I know this, I couch surfed for like months when I was traveling. I ended up dating one of the guys, well, not even dating, I don't know what you call it, situationship, forking my couch surfing hoe. I got hit on so many times. I had a man take a photo of me while I was sleeping with my camera. I had so many sketchy situations on couch surfing, and these men are now on Airbnb instead. Now, luckily, Airbnb holds people a little more accountable than couch surfing did. But my guess is this old man is hosting people, probably only hosts women. How much you want to bet? Younger women. And these on couch surfing, I had one guy literally admit to me. He was like, yeah, my brother met his wife on couch surfing. So, it's cool. They just come to me. I'm like, yeah, that seems really convenient for you. That women who are vulnerable, don't know where they are, don't even speak the language, don't have a map. I mean, they do on their phones, but this was back when, oh my God, I'm aging myself. Whatever. It wasn't as sophisticated as now. They're, disoriented. They show up and their host, who's supposed to be a friend, who introduces them to the culture and the town and maybe brings them out to parties and they get like a locals experience. That was the whole point of couch surfing. But men on couch surfing ruined couch surfing. And instead, you got all these predators or these lazy men who think that they deserve women with no effort whatsoever. And these women show up at their front door with their backpacks on. And then they're in there brushing their teeth like a girlfriend would. And then they're in their like sweatpants and night clothes. And then these men are like, my bed's more comfortable. God, I need to do a whole video on couch surfing. But the fact that this man, I bet you money, he is hosting to get women coming through there. And he's probably hitting on these women because look what he did to her. At first he refused her because he thought she was having a party and he probably wants women showing up by themselves. Easier to groom them. So the next day, she was turning 40, right? She's 43 now. Angie set him straight. I was excited about my birthday staycation. She was looking for a quiet solo escape in an early pandemic time. God, I keep thinking it was in 2019. God, I can't, oh God, it's all such a blur now. This was right in like the hardest part possibly of the pandemic. God, 2020 was insane. I mean, it hasn't gotten less crazy since, but looking for a solo escape. She was thrilled that there was a pool there and it was only 20 minutes from where she lived, right? She's like a staycation, but an Airbnb. I love that for her. I love that she's spending her 40th. I love that energy, right? Like, you know what? I'm turning 40. It's a pandemic. I don't know. Like, I don't want to die. I don't know what we're allowed to do anymore because the rules are different in every state. And she lives in Florida. If you are not from the U.S. or you've never been in Florida, my family lives in Florida and Florida man. It's like I had Anthony, my husband who's French, if you're new here. I tried to explain to him Florida one time and I showed him the Big Mouth episode about Florida. Go watch that if you want to know how messed up Florida is. But also, we just Googled Florida man and read articles and he was like, okay, now I get it. Anyway, this is Florida. But anyway, the point is, I love that she wanted to do something special for her 40th birthday, but because of the situation, rented herself a nice Airbnb with a pool and la 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 la. And then this man, her life is ruined now, y'all. This is supposed to be a cute story. And I'm like, oh no. This is like Scream, but with an old man. She wrote to him, I'm very quiet and I would not wish to cause harm or annoyance. She accepted his decision and wished him a happy summer. And then he saw, with such a pleasant, easygoing, nice girl, who is 40, perfect for a 70-year-old man. But according to him, the photo in this nice note, he sends an 11 minutes later, sends an apology. OMG, I'm so sorry. Anyone else find it weird, the 7-year-old man saying OMG? I don't know, whatever. I just can't imagine my mother saying that or my dad. Explain that there's a previous party thrower racked up $900 in damages. I will welcome you with open arms, baby girl. Love, you didn't say love, your host, I hope, Dennis. Oh, it's Dennis, not Deluxe. A few more exchanges went nowhere. I was really nervous about doing anything wrong. What? Oh, that's a great way to start off a relationship. You walking on eggshells around Deluxe Club. Okay, so he called her. I don't understand this. Anyway. Okay, so he calls her and I talked her into staying. Why are you so eager now, Deluxe? Oh, he also promised her a special birthday breakfast. My signature Denver omelet on steroids. What? Okay. So she found the key under the mat when she arrived at Club Deluxe on July 8th, the afternoon before her birthday. Oh, Mr. Weiss would be returning home from visiting his 33-year-old son in Colorado later that day. His other son died in 2017. You know what this makes me think of? This article right here. Sounds like Deluxe. Well, we'll find about his marriage status later on. Or, I'm sorry, he's not married, but he doesn't have a wife anymore. He has 2 sons. One is deceased. The other one is living in Colorado, and he probably realized, oh crap, I don't have a daughter to take care of me. Don't have a wife, I'm gonna get me one on Airbnb. So while he was gone, his friends who had minded the Airbnb in his absence not only left keys for her, but also decorated the kitchen to his specifications. How much you want to bet these aren't his friends? We know men don't have friends. Not real friends. He's paying these people. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm cynical, but I have every reason to be. So man, he is working hard on this. Y'all, this is a lot. So it seems cute. Oh, how cute. But we know this lonely old man who is afraid to die without a hospice wife. Balloons, flowers, streamers, tequila, and a birthday card and it was pretty amazing, according to her. So she's impressed right out of the gate. She quickly changed into her bathing suit and headed to the pool. I wish I could live here, she recalled thinking as she floated on a raft in the L-shaped pool with a floating bar. All right, Deluxe, you know how to do your whole scene. It was in such a nice respite from my everyday life. Until the pandemic, she's originally from Pennsylvania. She had worked so she's far from family, far from home. Maybe she doesn't like her family. I don't know. Just saying. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so she worked as a nanny in Florida. She had moved to Tampa with her father when she was 13. Attended state college. Interesting. I wonder what her backstory is. Her dad probably kidnapped her. No, I'm kidding. That's too cynical. So Mr. Weiss got home at 10 p.m. and welcomed her. They chatted for about 20 minutes over Corona. Oh, gotta get her nice and drunk. I know. I'm being ridiculous. I know that. But also, I do not trust men. I assume they're a predator until proven otherwise, and not living by that rule has almost got me unalive too many times, y'all. So they had some beers, turned in. The next morning, as promised, he served her a birthday breakfast on steroids, along with mimosa. Get her drunk in the pool. Then they swam the day away. You know what? If I was staying at an Airbnb and I wanted to be there, for myself, and then this old man who owns the house is swimming with me all day, I'd be pissed. Get out of here. I didn't come here to stay with you and swim with you and talk to you. I came here for a staycation and I know when you travel, you want to meet people. But what I would hate to stay at an Airbnb where an old man host who's flirting with me out of the gate won't leave the house and wants to hang out with me. She's paying to stay there, bro, not to keep your lonely butt company. Certainly don't want to be hanging out with a man in a swimsuit all day. Like, gross. I'd be so pissed if this man was, hanging out at home in his pool. God, is it just me? Or would you be like, what is this? I mean, she knows she may be hanging out with other guests. That's different. But this man lives there. And this is not couch surfing. That's the difference. Couch surfing, the whole point is your host is supposed to talk to you and familiarize you with the area, and you exchange culture and sometimes language and food. And it's like traveling for the traveler, but for the person who lives there, it's like traveling without going anywhere. And it's a way to just kind of, pay it forward for all the people who've hosted you, right? And that's what couch surfing is about. What Airbnb is not supposed to be about is, hey, I'm here. Look at my house, hang out with me, talk to me, keep me company. That's why when I traveled in my 30s alone, I started doing Airbnb instead of couch surfing. Because couch surfing sucks and I went corporate and blah, blah, blah. But also I paid so I don't have to talk to everybody. I'm sorry, I'm going off on this too much. Look at that. She knew every song I knew. Oh my God, what? Okay, so he graduated with a bachelor's degree in physical education from California State Polytechnic University in Pomona. He's a retired UPS driver in California. Why are you in Florida, bro? What are you running from? California is a nice climate. I know it's expensive, but what are you doing in Florida? Her playlist was my playlist. Snoop Dogg. Oh, wait, what? 70-year-old man saying OMG and singing along to Snoop Dogg. I'm not saying, like, that's kind of funny and cute, but maybe a little weird. That afternoon, they had a first kiss. You should be reporting this dude. Your first day there, he's kissing you? Oh my God. Can somebody take this man's Airbnb license away from him? Or it's not a license, but report this man to Airbnb. I'm sorry, my husband gave me his recorder and I am a little too excited about it. They had a candlelight dinner later that night. Oh, I didn't notice an age difference, she said. We had a lot of things in common. Notice the age difference. That man probably has cancer already. I bet he has so many health problems that you don't even know about and is waiting for you to get married and then you're going to find out. I would love a follow-up article on this couple. Mr. Wise described their second day together as a carbon copy of the first. Oh, that's boring. Get original, bro. Or even better, we were having a ball, laughing and carry on like a couple of kids. See, this is what men want. They love younger women to keep them young. But you know what? These old men make you old. That's the payoff. We may keep these older men young, but they make us old. Because even 30 and 40-year-old men act like old men. And so, you know what? I guarantee you this man's not going to be going to a techno concert or doing any stuff that maybe, this is me. I love going to techno concerts. I don't even know if I'm using the right word. I sound old. But I don't drink. I haven't drank in like 20 years, but I can dance all night long. I'm the drunkest sober person you ever met. And even at 46, I have boundless energy. If you haven't, you can't tell from these videos. I cannot imagine being like with a 70-year-old who wants to watch TV all the time. I bet he never leaves the house. But she's there to make him feel like a school kid. As her departure approached, he invited her to stay longer. Indefinitely. Oh, okay, creeper. Do you want to stay and never leave? And so she did. Okay, they literally moved in together right away. This is the worst idea ever. Don't ever do this. Oh my God. See, he's the one who's eager. This article makes it sound like she's desperate. And when you look at the comments on Facebook under it, which I'm going to show some, they make it look like she's desperate. He's desperate. Who invites a guest to stay indefinitely? A man who's looking for a hospice wife. That's who. Look at this. We spent every single day together. That's not healthy. That is so unhealthy. I don't care how old he is. I don't care how in love you are. Do not ever spend every single day with a man you just met. Hello, love bombing. Hello, isolating her from any of her friends in her old life. Hello, unbalanced. Like, dude, I don't care how excited you are about a man. Do not do this. Definitely don't move in with him as soon as you meet him and never leave. But don't make your whole life about him. First of all, you're a crappy friend if you're doing that. Your friends are going to hate you. And when that man screws you over, you're not going to have any support system left because you were the one who centered men and ditched them because your whole life is about him. So, I forget her name. Amber, what? You're being a bad friend here. This is very self-sabotaging of your life, your career, your community, everything. Okay, but look at this. I knew it. We spent every single day together and we soon began helping him around Airbnb. Up! There it is. Hospice wife and now caretaker, maid. She's probably running the whole business now. I knew it. Oh my God. This man. Oh my God. This man. I hate this man. I hate this man. I hate this for her. Oh, I wish some. Oh. She now also works as a server at Pizza Connection, an Italian restaurant nearby. Great. So she has a college degree. And I waited tables with a college degree. This is not about against working in the service industry. But my guess is she's working so many hours for this old man that she probably can't have a thriving career. She needs to be close to the business she's now running for him. And she's probably going to be taking him to the doctor for cancer treatment soon. Great. Stalled career. Okay, so on July 18th, they had their first official date. And outdoor drinks at Anthony's on the Boulevard, an Italian seafood restaurant, now closed. Now closed. Guess it wasn't any good. No, it could be a lot of reasons. July 18th. Let me think. She arrived on July 3rd. It took you 15 days to take her to a restaurant? I hate you more. You were supposed to stay for 2 days. You hit on her the first day. Wouldn't leave her alone. Swam with her. Kissed her the first day. 15 days. What did you do for 15 days? You literally asked her to never leave after 2 days, but you wouldn't even take her to dinner until 15 days? Like, that tells me everything I need to know that. He's not spending money on you. You better. I hope she has set herself up. I hope she inherits this Airbnb, this house. Watch out, baby. His whole will is probably leaves it to his sons. And you are not only the future hospice wife, you are the landlord. You're taking care of all the homes. And I bet you she will never get any money. How many times do old men die and leave it all to their kids? Now, I'm not saying those kids don't deserve it. But I hope you're like like Billy, the woman that my grandpa married after my grandma died. My grandma, who he celebrated the death of at her funeral, held her hostage, wouldn't let her divorce him. She got her revenge by cheating on him with the neighbor for 20 years. She hated his guts because she was being held hostage. Who wouldn't hate that? And so he remarried Billy after my grandma died of cancer, which he probably gave her through her nervous system. And Billy stole all his money. That was all supposed to go to the kids, but Billy, when he got cancer, had him sign checks for groceries and wiped his whole account out. Good for you, Billy! We got screwed, but good for you. I mean, seriously, that is a boss move. The whole family hates her, but I actually think she probably deserved that money because she was his hospice wife for years, taking care of this man. So, I forget your name now because it's been so long. I hope that you make sure you look at his will, or all this is for nothing. She's not going to get any of this, and she's doing all the work, and she's working at a pizza place. How do you think her career is going to do once this man dies and she has nothing left? God, I hope she talked to a lawyer and looked at all. I'm really worried about her now. I mean, I was already, because she's not, like, she's going to lose years off of her life. If she ever wanted kids, not going to have them now. And she's going to be broke as a joke after this man. Hobosexuals. What? I'm sorry. I'm a little loud. He's really not doing okay after this vaccine. I hope it's been 2 days. I hope that's okay. Are you okay, Mose? He's like, will you just shut up? Are you worried about me? Because I'm all worked up? No. Okay. Is my goal in life to be as unbothered by men as my dog is by me? By the way, I just skimmed over this article and highlighted a few things, but I'm discovering a lot of this in real time of just how much this man sucks. I did not do that math of it being 15 days before he took her out for drinks. Outdoor drinks. Hey, did you not even buy her food? Outdoor drinks. You were very specific about that. Did you not buy her food? Oh my God, I hate this person. I found my friend. See, I bet you he didn't have any friends. The friends who set up the Airbnb, he's paying them. We never stop laughing. Guess what? While y'all were laughing so much, you should have talked about finances. This is why Love is Blind is such a joke. A lot of these couples are like, we have fun together. We have shared interests. So what? I have fun with a lot of people. I'm not marrying them and tying my whole bank account to this person and not forking other people because of this person I have fun with. Yes, your partner should be your best friend, but I wouldn't exploit my friend by making them work at my Airbnb. Oh, here we go. There's a reason why I highlight Mr. Weiss. I'm sorry, what's his name? Deluxe. Previous 2 marriages ended in divorce. I hate that we don't know what that is. Could it be you suck? Could it be cheating? It could be her. Or you just not compatible. But he's at 2 marriages didn't work out. A son who's living on the other side of the country. One that's deceased. And this old man moved to Florida for what? I want to know why he's in Florida. Is there something in Florida where people can hide out? Florida people, chime in. He told Miss Lucas from the get-go that he would never get married again. Well, from the get-go, was that the first day or the second day before you decided that she should never leave your house? Like what? When did this conversation happen? I'm never getting married again. But I've known you for 2 days. Will you stay in my house forever and take care of it? But you know what? After he promised he'd never, ever, ever, I swear to God, these men say this because he's probably hoping that, he doesn't have to like legally tie her to any of his money. He's probably like, I'll just have a live-in hospice. I'll have a hospice girlfriend. That's what I'll do. And by the way, back to the hospice wife, hospice girlfriend thing. These men are going to exploit the patriarchies, the society that, because of patriarchy, that will shame this woman if she ever leaves him. So many women get stuck in relationships with sick men who hide their illnesses, or old men who hide their illnesses or don't hide their illnesses and just, don't think about, oh, this man already is lazy and does nothing and he's old. Oh, crap. Now I got to take him to his cancer treatment. Men are 6 times as likely to leave women when they divorce, leave, abandon women that they love till death do us part, and sickness and in health. It's only for the women, those vows, by the way. 6 times more likely to leave her if she gets sick. We know this. Statistics have shown this. Studies have shown this. But women almost never abandon these men. And if they do, they end up in the Daily Mail. Literally. They end up in the Daily Mail or the New York Post or one of these things that are like, what? Look at this selfish lady. He was killing my vibe. I actually covered this story. Maybe I should do it again. He didn't kill her vibe. He literally was like killing her with his he was a terrible. Anyway, oh my God, I have a whole video about this. I will never stop talking about this. Will literally abuse women by making them take care of them, by marrying them, trapping them, coercive control, and then they have society being ruthless in terms of the way it treats women who don't care for people that, God forbid we ever prioritize our own health over someone who doesn't even love us. So anyway, I'm saying all this to say that these men will be, I'm not against marriage, probably because he didn't want her to have any rights over his stuff. Maybe he went to a lawyer and was like, oh, cool, I can leave everything to my son who would never take care of me. And I'll get this workhorse for free. Yes, he probably knows that she isn't going to do all this stuff unless she's married. Okay, so as much as he's against marriage, now he's all of a sudden quick to marriage, right? Because in September, about a week after she apparently officially moved her stuff into the Airbnb, because she unofficially moved in 2 days after meeting this man, if I'm understanding this story correctly. Now all of a sudden, in September, July, August, September, 2 months? In 2 months, he's starting to think, well, if you like you, oh my God, you did not just do this. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it, he said. That's probably how he talks. No, I'm sorry, that's my people who talk that way. He's not Southern, he's from what? Illinois. Hot dogs! I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of Illinois people. I picked up an Illinois accent a little bit when I was in college in Montana because all my friends were from Chicago. I was like this Southern girl who then says, hot dog! Anyway, oh my God, I'm sorry. The ADHD brain is all over the place. I know, you don't, okay. He's like, Bert, stay in. Oh my God, I give my dog my mean voices in my head. I make my dog say mean things to me all the time. I literally make him be like, Bert, shut up. And I'm like, who am I talking to? Oh my God. This Sam voice I'm talking about, I give it to him. Okay, so after he quotes Beyonce, look at this. On September 11th, 2 months and 3 days after they met, the man who's against marriage got down on a knee and presented her with a diamond engagement ring around sunset in front of Chapel by the Sea. Okay, what? September 11th, dude. Really? Really? Like, I've always felt bad for, I have a friend whose birthday is September 11th. Like, it's already bad when you have something on this date you can't control. Why? I had a bad knee. Okay, that should have been your warning sign. Angela. I remember her name. That should have been, if he's literally like, ow, ow, when he proposes to you, he's too old for you. They proposed their original January 2021 wedding date after Angela's mother died. Oh, God. I still want to know the story with the mother. Why did the husband, her dad, take her to Florida to raise her at 13? And Deluxe had here we go, an emergency knee replacement. I told you, they're not even married yet. And he's already having a health crisis. Well, life gets in the way sometimes. Angela, no, old men's dying bodies get in the way. This was like God or the universe or your angel or whatever. Whatever. I believe that there's something, but I don't know what it is. This was like your little angel being like, hey, honey, your mom died, maybe, and his emergency knee thing, maybe we should postpone this for a while, i.e. think about what you're doing. This was not the lesson of that. Life gets in the way. This was, life was trying to protect you by putting something in the way, and then you didn't listen. Mr. Deluxe has met many friends and family, and despite the age difference, everyone's okay with it. Do you ever see your friends, though? You literally went 20 minutes away for a staycation, and this old man has you hostage in his house, his Airbnb. What? You're like Cinderella. Instead of an evil stepmom, you got an old man husband. Okay, this is more like Beauty and the Beast. This is Beauty and the Beast. Except Belle has to clean, too. Pretty sure she didn't have to clean. Maybe she did. He's a lovable guy. Look at this. On February 14th, what's her face? Don't think it's important. Florida Notary Public officiated on a secluded beach on this. Really? A woman gets married in her 40s. I'm guessing it's her first marriage. We don't know, but they didn't mention it like they mentioned his. And you don't think that maybe she wanted family and friends there? I swear to God, I am not like Bridezilla. I hate the wedding industry. I think it's a scam. I think it is literally tricks women into marrying terrible men so they have their moment in the beautiful dress and it's her day, and it should not be her day. It's their day. It's their day. If it's her day, that is her funeral, baby. The more it's all about her, the more it's her funeral. Because that man had no planning in it. He didn't care. He doesn't see it as about them. It's about her. And because it's all about him the day after that, right? That's what I've noticed. So she doesn't even get like the big wedding. He's probably like, well, my knee hurts. We got Airbnb reservations coming in. Let's just do a private ceremony on the beach for just you and me. How romantic. Yeah, every woman's dream. I haven't even dreamed of marriage. I was never like, oh my God, what my wedding dress? I was so cynical about marriage from the day I can remember because my parents divorced and literally everyone I knew was divorced, single moms. And then my grandparents hated each other because one was being held hostage. I was like, marriage doesn't seem like a good thing for women, right? So I was never even fantasizing about marriage, but I'll be damned if some old man I just met convinces me to have no one that I love there and just a private ceremony. Like, I'm not saying, I know some people do this. I'm not saying that if this is what you did, it's bad. I am saying that I get a sense this was not her idea. Maybe it was, but I doubt it. Because you do not wear a dress like this, a beautiful dress like this for no one to see. Like, you should have worn flip-flops and a sundress. Look at that. She's beautiful. Look at this beautiful dress. And this old man. Oh, I'm sorry. There was also a photographer there. Well, at least you paid for that, bro. I keep wanting to call him Gary after the Golden Bachelor, who was also a hobosexual trash man. Look at this last quote. If she were 60, it wouldn't matter. If she were 30, it wouldn't matter. She's Angie. Yeah, Angie. Age doesn't matter. Okay, Angie's age matters one. First, if she was 60, she would probably know better. You know, like, okay, I want to make this final point, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I've said this before, that these younger women who haven't learned through terrible experiences and a lot of trauma yet from men, a lot of younger women, and especially if they have issues with dad or mom or some sort of stuff in the family, a lot of times get tricked into these relationships just due to a lack of experience and a lack of education, which is why I make this content to help you see the ways men will trick you, because I had to learn the hard way and almost died, and I've seen what's happened to a lot of my friends and people I love. However, and this is what I said in a video back, I can't remember what it was about, but women in their 30s and 40s, especially between the 35 and 45, especially, but those last 5 years of 30s, those women are targets for men who are like, I have a feeling that I know so many women who got married at 40 years old, because they're at 37, 38, they're like, oh my God, they start freaking out and they just want someone to love them. And especially if they want children, because that clock is ticking. You don't want that man's baby gravy, because if he's not shooting blanks, the things he's shooting is a lot of times full of all kinds of health problems. Men who are that old should not be having kids. Anyway, I hope they're not having kids. I hope for her sake they're not having children. But I seriously, I can't tell you how many women I have seen get married at 37, 38, 39, 40. Right? Because they want the family, and there's this 40. I don't know what it is about 40, because I started to feel it. When I saw 40 coming, I was like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be like something by I'm 40. I know I don't want to be a mom, but like for me, it was more about my career. And that pressure actually was good, because I realized I don't want to wait tables at this barbecue restaurant in LA for the rest of my life, making no money and my body's falling apart, right? Maybe I don't need to be in LA. So I actually made changes towards my career that would push it forward some, in terms of like, maybe I don't need to be in this city to make it. And literally, like, what happened is my career took off as soon as I left the place that I had to be. So I do think 40 helps us reassess things. But what I hate that happens is a lot of women who really want families and want to be married, which is a very natural want for a lot of women, especially not just because of the way we're conditioned, but people want love, and that's normal. But we see 40. And if marriage is something you really wanted, be very careful, because between the ages of 37 and 40 is when women meet the worst men and marry the worst men, because they don't want to be single at 40. A lot of times it's about children, but a lot of times it's not. I've seen women who did not want children, who did not have children, marry trash. Or women who, a single mom friend of mine I know, married a man because she literally said, I don't want to be 40 and single. Married a man who had like 5 kids. She's paying for all of she's the breadwinner. Oh, and by the way, he's an addict, literal addict. Like this, I have so many examples from my life. So these men target women who are in their mid 30s and maybe in their 40s, because a lot of times by 50, women who haven't gotten married yet are like, you know what? I'm doing fine. I don't need that. And I don't want to bury somebody and take care of someone. But women in their late 30s to early 40s, or even in their 30s in general, these men prey on their fear. They prey on their want for a family. They prey on patriarchal social conditioning that we are losers if we're not married by 40. Please don't fall for it. If you're in this age group, you are actually, I believe, more vulnerable than even young women. Because young women at least know they have their whole life ahead of them, right? Whereas women in their mid-30s and in that range don't know if this is their last chance. And so we ignore red flags, massive red flag, and we let that conditioning, that voice, and any trauma and any daddy issues or anything that are still going on, veto our intuition. But lest I remind you, men are always looking for wives at every age, no matter what you hear on these dumb podcasts. Because men are healthier with wives, wives are sicker with husbands. Unless you have one that is making your life easier and better over an extended period of time, not just in the beginning. He's going to unalive you, and he's going to thrive because they're parasites. And even if you have all the money in the world, you're still going to suffer as a hospice wife. And even if you're not old, these men will let you nurse them through cancer and then leave you anyway. Please be careful.